Hey there, Nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back on an episode of the Underhive's Most Wanted, a series dedicated to the analysis of the Dramatis Personae fighters and Games Workshop's Necromunda. We will discuss the fighters' characteristics, their skills, their weapons and war gear, their special rules, and provide more critical information to help you to dominate in your next campaign of Necromunda. And on today's episode, we're talking about two Outlawed Hive Scum featured in the Necromunda Book of the Judgement. Those two fighters are Jonny Razor, the cybernetic close combat fighter, and Cor, Two Guns Coran, the self-stylized vigilante of the Underhive. We'll be talking about these fighters in quite some depth, so because the video will be a little bit more of a deeper dive, I will put timestamps in the description box down below, so that way you can select the fighter that you want to see the most. So that being said, let's go and talk about Jonny Razor. Alright, so first off is Jonny Razor. He is an Outlaw Hive Scum. He's going to cost you 125 credits. For his characteristics, he's got a 5-inch wind allowance, so he's got average speed with a 2+ weapon skill, which is really great. 6+ ballistic skill, not so great. He's got 3 strength and 3 toughness, as well as 2 wounds, 5+ for initiative, 2 attacks, 8 leadership, 7 cool, 9 willpower, as well as 9 intelligence. Now he does have some pretty good close combat stats in terms of being the better weapon skill, but average for his physical stats, and he's got below average psychology stats as well. Now when it comes to his skills, he does have Combat Master, which means he never suffers penalties and always causes benefits no matter how many fighters he's fighting against, and he does have the Evade special skill, which basically means that enemies suffer a -1 to hit at him with shooting, as well as -2 to hit him if he's getting shot from long range, which is going to be quite helpful because Jonny Razor is all about getting engaged in close combat. Now for his war gear, he does have flak armor, which gives him a 6+ armor save, a 5+ save against blast attacks. He also has photo goggles, so that way it's good for visibility rules or for blackout conditions, so that part is quite nice. Now when it comes to his weapons, he does have what's called a bladed cyber arm, which basically gives him 3 attacks on the charge, which is quite nice, and at the same time it gives him strength 4 with -1 AP as well as 2 damage attacks, which is really great. And he's also got throwing knives. Now throwing knives would be nice, however with a 6+ ballistic skill though, he is not going to be using those throwing knives anytime soon. Now when it comes to his special rules, he does have the outlaw special rule, which means he can only be taken by outlaw gangs, and he's pretty decent for what he does for 125 credits. For 125 credits, he's a pretty good close combat fighter, all things considered. However, with his really bad ballistic skill though, and his really mediocre toughness and strength, you're pretty much better off just spending that 125 credits on somebody else instead. I wouldn't really see him as really being an option for Outcast Gang Leader either, just because the psychology stats are not very great. But there is some positives about him. One of the big positives, of course, he's not a Forge World exclusive, so that way you can proxy, convert, and 3D print away your own fighters as well. One of the big things I did not care about for this fighter is that they kind of missed out a golden opportunity to do cybernetic type things with him, because he's supposed to be like a cyborg, so maybe give him better strength and toughness maybe because he is a cyborg or something like that, but they didn't do that, so I thought it was kind of a wasted opportunity for that one. So like I said before, he's not a Forge World exclusive, so you can proxy, convert, and 3D print away for this character. So if you are looking for a outlaw fighter who can do really good in close combat, that's pretty much our thoughts when it comes to Jonny Razor. So up next is Cor, Two Guns Coran, which is a self-stylized vigilante of the Underhive. He costs 120 credits. He is an outlaw hired gun, so let's talk about him real quick. So he's got 4-inch movement, pretty slow. 6+ weapon skill, not that great, but a 4+ ballistic skill, which is pretty average. He's got 4 strength, 3 toughness, 2 wounds, 4 initiative, 1 attack. He's got 7 leadership, 7 cool, 8 willpower, as well as 8 intelligence. Now he's got pretty good weapon skill, but he's got very poor weapon skill, so that kind of balances each other out kind of. He's got an average ballistic skill, and he's got pretty average psychology stats, all things considered. Now for his weapons, he's got a pair of twin auto pistols with man-stopper rounds, which are pretty sweet. They can give those strength 4 attacks, but anybody can buy man-stopper rounds, so not all that great as well. He does have the gunfighter skill, which is great for 2 guns blazing, so that way he's only hitting at a 4+ without -1 to hit, which is kind of nice. And oddly enough, he's got the inspirational skill, which only has a 53% chance of using it, but if he does use it, he can help another fighter recover their cool in case they lose their cool, which is quite interesting there. Now for his war gear, the only thing he ends up having is a forged gilder seal, which means you have -2 on rarity of goods, and you can reduce the price by 3d6 credits. But if you roll a double 1 or double 6, you're automatically caught, and the gang is declared as outlaws. But since this guy is an outlaw hiring gun anyways, you have to be an outlaw to get him in the first place, so I'm not sure if there's a negative for using that forged gilder seal. Now for his special rules, he is an outlaw, which means he can only be taken by outlaw gangs. And he's pretty decent for 120 credits, all things considered. He would be a really good support character for a squad of juvies, helping them with cool tests. So like if you have a squad of juvies that you like to use as expendable chaff, you could put Cor, 2 Guns, Coran to help them out, so that way they fill the cool tests. You can kind of bounce them back a little bit as well. He would be good to use in close assaults, and that Gilder Forged Gilder Seal is kind of nice as well. But, you know, for 120 credits, though, you could probably do better. Another positive about this fighter as well, that he's not a Forge World exclusive miniature, so that way you can proxy, convert, and 3D print away if you want to. And all things considered, he actually would make a pretty decent outcast gang leader if you wanted to, because he's got that average psychology stats. So that is something that is quite nice about him as well. So those are our thoughts about Cor, 2 Guns, Coran. So in conclusion, these are the 2 Outlawed Hive Scum that you can hire. They're Dramatis Personae for your gangs. They're pretty mediocre at best, but at the same time, though, they're not Forge World exclusives, which is a really nice thing. So because you can convert, you can proxy, you can 3D print, or go with a third party, so that's perfectly fine. So that's a nice thing about those fighters as well. Also, they do have some potential of making some interesting outcast gang leaders if you want to. Cor, 2 Gun Coran could like leave a revolution, for example. Jonny Razor, I'm not sure if he really is all that great for a leader, but you know, you could also put mutations on him as well in order to increase his viability. Unfortunately, with all the cybernetics he has, you would think that the developers would have done something with his cybernetic abilities, but c'est la vie. With that being said, though, please tell me, let you know if you guys ever use these guys. Have you used Jonny Razor or Cor, 2 Guns Coran in your games in Necromunda? If you have, please put down what your experience is like in the description and the comment box down below. I'd like to know exactly how these guys performed for you guys. So there you guys have it. That's good for this one. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blog.com for all the latest greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's good for this one, you guys. I will catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.